So we had a little bit of a circuitous route in building our family. When Michelle and I got together, she had already had the boys with her former partner, Monique.
You know, in order to get to where I have with my family now, building that has been a lot of challenges, but it started with just an amazing memory, and that is my three sons. We unfortunately lost my oldest son, Avery, in 2019, but when we proposed to Lauren, and I say we because it was a family of me and my three boys, and we all proposed to Lauren with signs, and it was, "Will you marry me?"
So I came in as their stepmother, and then we decided that our family wasn't quite complete and decided to have the ours baby. And that was where we reached out to some good friends of ours to be our known donor. And then I had her through them.
And now we have an amazing little girl and an amazing village of support for everyone. We have been in basically isolation since this pandemic has, fallen upon us in early March. But being home for that long, today, coming to film was the first time that we've all had to be actually dressed, matching, showered, all at the same time, leaving the house at the same time. And Simone, who is in this amazingly funny stage, and we're trying to get the kids breakfast so that everybody can take their morning meds as they all have allergies and we're outside. She's running around with Grant's bagel. "I got your bagel, I got your bagel." And he's chasing her with the bagel and they're just singing. And that would just cracked us all up because, of course, Lauren and I are like, we gotta be on time, we gotta be on time. And she's chasing her brothers. "I've got your bagel, I've got your bagel."
It's really true that Simone has completed our family. Both of the boys have immediately become very protective of her. And even though there's no genetic relationship between the kids, she is their little sister 100%, and nobody can tell them otherwise. They have both really bonded about their protection of her. Obviously, one of the biggest challenges we've had to face is that even though Michelle and I were legally married before we had Simone, Michelle still had to legally adopt Simone.
Before having kids, obviously the march towards marriage equality was the first challenge. And prior to that, had my first two kids that I did legal adoption for as a second parent. After marriage equality and I was able to marry Lauren, the next challenge obviously is deciding having Simone, but then being told I still needed to do a second parent adoption.
That was definitely an extra expense and process we had to go through that non-LGBT families don't necessarily have to go through.
Well, obviously, the racial injustice that's happened across the country has obviously been something that I have had to live with my entire life. I'm either a triple treat or a triple threat, being a woman, lesbian, and Black. But for our family, it has actually offered, I would say, a premature opportunity, but an opportunity for us to talk as a family about what's going on in the country to our boys who are old enough to know something is different.
You know, we're raising two Black men, and honestly, as a parent, helping them navigate the unfortunate racism that still exists in our society and helping fight against that has really been at the forefront of our family dynamic in the last year.
And so for that reason, it has allowed us to have more of a unified conversation about where we stand in being anti-racist in the family, and how we are making sure we are actively talking about what you might experience and what our expectations are, and that is kindness and love, and spread that.
I'm proud of my family because we get through everything together.
I'm proud of my family because we love each other a lot. I know that's never going to stop.
The family support that we have is, I like to say, a village. You know, it does take a village to raise children, and especially nowadays when the kids are at home and we're doing social distancing from our friends and everyone. So in order for us to be able to have the support system that's necessary, obviously we have our family, we have an amazing live-in nanny, which we are fortunate to have, but also have the community of grandparents who love all of our kids, and the blended family with Monique's family, and having the support of my ex-partner with all the kids, not just Jackson and Grant, has been amazing. We also have aunts that live in the city, and good friends, and just amazing family support.
I will say for the most part we've been really blessed in that our communities that we've lived in have always been really welcoming. I mean, we are a blended mixed race lesbian family. I don't think we could check any more boxes, but we're really lucky that we live in an area where our kids have always been really accepted, and everybody's always been great and welcoming to us.
Having a support system is so important to LGBT families, and having both from the family and for the community are very important. So our community support has always been Lambda Legal, who's been fighting in the courts for all of our rights for over 40 years. But we also have Rainbow Roundup, which is an amazing community of LGBT parents and Q families, and we get together on so many amazing adventures together, which allows, again, our kids to hair down authentically who they are in just a loving environment.
I remember, I think I was hugely pregnant with Simone, and we brought the boys down to the Dallas Pride Zone, and it was really great for them at the time to see other LGBTQ families and see other families that looked like them, especially as we were about to bring a new baby into our dynamic.
So having Pride in Dallas is an amazing thing, and fortunately as a family who our airline family, we've been able to experience Pride all around the country in different form or fashion, but Dallas Pride and having a family zone is always an amazing time, because you almost can have the celebration of the parade and what we're there for. It's not just for celebration, but it is an active reason why we're there. But having the zone for the kids just still to have fun and be authentically who they are, children.
Well, having kids is very much a personal decision. It's not for everybody. It is the hardest, best, most rewarding job I could have ever imagined, because I wanted to be a parent. I don't think for people that want to be a parent that being LGBTQ should hold you back.
I absolutely believe that growth of families are important, particularly in the LGBTQ community, because for us it has to be intentional. And intentional planning means that you're intentional about finances. You've already talked about your parenting styles and have started some financial planning for them so that they are going to be active. They're already born activists because our rights are still being fought for, so they watch, they see us serve. And so we want to make sure that you continue to build servant leaders. LGBT community exactly does that. So have them, raise them, and let's get going.